Hi guys, and welcome to episode 3 on how to beat every character in Smash Ultimate, especially with Bowser. This episode will be beneficial to all of you, I'm sure, as we have Steve. Now, a lot of people, especially Bowsers, will struggle with this matchup, but this will be a very in-depth video on how to beat and counteract Steve, which will consist of an introduction to Steve, Steve's mining explained, such as materials and how they work and are shown on the HUD, stage choices and how mining works on those stages, Steve's strengths and Bowser's counterplay to each of them with subsections of Steve's combos, such as Pickloops and axe ladders, Steve's minecart and counterplay to it, Steve's blocks, how he uses them and how to counterplay them, Steve's edgeguarding and advantage state, and what we have for us in this matchup, so Bowser's strengths and advantage states, edgeguarding and ledge trapping, and finally, stage choices. Steve is a middleweight with a weight of 92. His walk speed, initial dash, running and airspeed is surprisingly in the bottom 10, with his initial dash actually being the worst in the game. Before I get into this video properly, please do make sure to like and subscribe, as these videos do take me quite a long time to make. And of course this is going to be a whole series with every single character, so stay in the loop, come on! Steve's moveset revolves around him mining for dirt, wood, stone, iron, gold, diamond and redstone. Excluding redstone and dirt, Steve increases the power of his tool attacks with these materials respectively. It can also increase mining speed. Steve starts with 36 dirt, 18 wood, 3 iron and 2/3 redstone. Always keep an eye on Steve's material HUD next to his character icon. His dirt, wood and stone are shown in chunks on the bar, however it's not exactly clear how much he has, but if it's showing the materials, just assume he has a fair amount. Iron is marked off and shows up to 8, however Steve can carry considerably more, which is tallied off not on the HUD. If Steve is low on iron, then abuse that and know that he is anvil or minecart free. Steve's diamond and gold is shown next to the gauge and glows when it can be crafted. So with the basics out of the way, let's get into the matchup, starting with Steve's combos. One thing that I'm sure everyone struggles with in this matchup is Steve's combo game. One of his bread and butter combos are Pickloops. Pickloops usually starts with a down throw and then a fair, and can be extended into a lot of things across the stage. As Bowser is so big, down throw Pickloops can combo into almost anything, including this clip, credits to the Steve chord. These two images also from the Steve chord show down throw and Pickloops for every character, so check them out if you main other characters too. Steve's attacks have a lot of hit stun, especially in his fair, so Steve has a lot to play around with, but this means you can SDI more in the hit stun. DI won't work as Pickloops don't put you into tumble. You will want to mix up your SDI in and out, as out places you further away from Steve, however SDI in, especially during the fair hit stun, can actually place you behind Steve and escape the combo. But don't do this every time, as if the Steve is smart and expects it, they can turn around and F-tilt to continue the pick loop. Another of Steve's bread and butter combos are his axe ladders. Axe ladders will almost always start with an up tilt, followed by more up tilts, block placements and up smash. This can usually do around 60% to a big character like Bowser. Your only option here is to mix up SDI in and out as much as you can, and hope that the Steve makes a mistake. Another thing that Steve has that makes this an even harder fight is his minecart. Minecart has so much variation and can be used in so many different situations, such as pick loop finishes, an extra way for Steve to get back to stage, a whiff punisher, and a neutral. Ways around minecart is, if it hits your shield, you will want to roll in instantly to avoid getting command grabbed. If Steve tries to use it as a tech chase, make sure to mix up your tech options. Another good option is if Steve is doing it in a not very smart manner and is staying in the cart heading right for you, Fire Breath depletes the health of the minecart whilst also roasting Steve. Steves also like to bait you to jump when they minecart and instantly fair you or reverse bear you, so make sure you mix up your approaches to minecart, and if you want to swat him out of the air, make sure you are above the minecart and the bottom of Bowser's fair hits his head to avoid the hitbox. An interesting interaction that I found out too is that hitting minecart extends your hitbox, which can actually extend the duration of Bowser's F-smash, making this happen. Steve has so much variety and uses for his blocks. They are used in combos as explained earlier. He can use them to recover as well if he wants to mix up his timings or if he is low off stage. Steve will also love to block you off while he is mining, by creating different patterns of blocks. This is however not completely foolproof. Make sure you are mixing up your approaches. A good tip is that you only need to destroy the bottom block. No matter what height your character is, you can just run through the rest of them if the bottom one is gone. Bowser can destroy blocks with a swift fair, jab or down tilt, just make sure to mix this up and to mix up your approaches. Steve will also try and use blocks to block your recovery, but Bowser can quite consistently go through them, so you shouldn't have too much trouble with this. Bowser has some solid advantage states in this matchup however, especially when Steve is low and trying to recover, as Fire Breath is really good against his recovery. And if you get the timing right, F-Tilt 2-frame can be very consistent. If you get lucky enough for a crafting table to spawn at ledge, it will actually extend your F-Tilt, making it easier to 2-frame. Utilising Bowser's speed against Steve's slow speed is so good too, as we can easily catch up to him if we are careful with approaching. Picking a stage against Steve can seem quite daunting, however in my opinion the best stages to take Steve to is Smashville and Hollow Bastion, because Steve is quite a defensive character and these stages are quite small. A stage Bowser should tend to avoid is Town and City, as Steve can camp pretty hard there, and also perhaps FD, as this is a neutral stage meaning Steve can get all types of materials quite easily and they mine with a shovel. Thank you guys so much for watching, please do make sure to like and subscribe. Obviously it's optional, but get on. Yeah, comment what character you want to see next.